Welcome on to Critical Disability Studies at Manchester Metropolitan University. We're very, very happy today to have Aileen Svensdottir, who is from Iceland.
Yep.
And Aileen, would you tell us a little bit about your work with self-advocacy in Iceland, please?
I came into the movement 10 years ago.
Yep.
Didn't know a thing about it. And I sort of had been in a, well, what you call a normal community and had nothing really to do with disability, and got to know a few who were in the movement.
Right.
And I thought I'd give it a try, but then I found out that that was a place for me, and that's where I wanted to campaign for the rights. And now I'm a chairperson for the Icelandic Self-advocacy organisation. And I think it's very important that we have the self-advocates to campaign for our rights instead of other people always doing it for us.
Yeah. Can I ask what the situation is like for people with the label of intellectual disabilities in Iceland? Is it a good situation, or are there many barriers that people are facing?
There are many barriers, but I think we have a better situation than in some other places in the world.
Right.
I mean, we can't complain, but what I think is also the access to the community. That's the barriers, you know, getting access to the normal community service. I mean, it's very hard, and I think it's the financial situation of people with intellectual disabilities that sort of gives them less rights to take, you know, part.
I've got you. So what aspects of the community do you think people are struggling to get hold of, really, or to access?
Well, like, if you want this inclusion in, you know, the community, but I think when some are, you know, just seeking benefits, but I think it's also the society coming, you know, the meeting midway, trying to, you know, to give them the quality of life. And in many situations, well, I can say in my situation, it's with the help of my parents that I can live the standard that I live today, but that is not the way it should be. It should not fall on family or friends, or it should be our right to have the dignity to be able to live off what we have and be able to use the same quality of life as others.
And one of the interesting things you've been involved with many interesting things, but one of the things you've been involved in is around research, really.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences of research and the kind of things that you've been researching?
Well, the first experience when I was approached to do this with Christine
Bios.
Yeah. I thought, oh, not another one that she'll just use my findings and then it will just go in a drawer and I won't know anything about it.
Right.
And that's what I sort of was a bit sceptical. What am I getting myself into? But you know, this that I am part of it and we're doing it together.
Yeah.
And it's not her research, but what I think there's a tendency with researchers to do is, okay, they can use the intellectual disabled as tools.
Right.
And it's, you know, we're human beings as well, and we've got lives. But what I've seen and read, they're often, okay, they're just research materials, we can just use them and tools how we want to use them. But that's not the way that it should be. It should be that you're giving something, getting something given to you, that you should give back, and it should be teamwork, not exactly. And that's what I found when we started working with Christine. I found, you know, getting the respect, but also that we are being used as, you know, as a team.
Right.
We're not just, it's not her research, but in the end it has to be written. She does the we did it all together.
Right. That's really helpful, because I think what you've described really well there is, I think it's called inclusive research, is it?
Yeah,
Or
that's what it's called.
Right.
But I felt that if you mention it to some, researchers, they look at you as, what are you talking about?
Right.
And I actually felt that in Lancaster 5 years ago. What are you talking about?
Right. Because you presented a paper at the Lancaster Disability Studies Association conference, yeah.
Yeah, and then I presented, well, we did one for gambling for identity in, I can't remember, it wasn't one of the disability papers.
Right, yeah. If there were people with intellectual disabilities watching this video and wanted to know about the self-advocacy movement, what kind of advice would you have for them?
What I would give them, like, if, you know, the best way is to campaign for your own rights and be heard.
Right.
And it's not, it's your life, it's your, it's you as a person who have the rights to say what life you want to live. And it's just to keep campaigning till you get heard, until you get some, because otherwise you won't get anything.
Right. Aileen, I'd like to thank you very much for the interview. Are there any kind of final things you'd like to raise around the current state of disability research, or things that you think are happening in Iceland that we should know about?
No, but just remember one thing, we're people, we're not research tools.
Thank you, Aileen.